Minasan, konnichiwa, Zamurai Engineer desu. In this video, let us discuss the webinar version of NFPA101 Life Safety Code Module 1.2. It is about summary of technical changes. We know that the Life Safety Code addresses specific requirements on safety to life. And in so doing, it also addresses mission continuity indirectly together with property protection in both new construction and existing buildings. While we know all of that, we are going to discuss in detail part 1, which is currently we are discussing the code organization portion. So under code organization, which is module number 1, we started with key concepts, and now we are going to the summary of technical changes. NFPA 101 and other NFPA code release, for that matter, always have a summary of technical changes. Technical changes is summarized for the purpose of creating the importance of being able to know the previous version, the previous releases. Okay? If you are an expert of the previous edition, so that is a great advantage because you just have to adjust, update your knowledge, and by updating, you just have to look at the changes. These are the changes, and it is very detailed, section by section, paragraph per paragraph, and so on. So in NFPA 101, for example, we have plenty of technical changes. And this tabulated list provides an overview of major code changes from 2015, because this NFPA 101 release is 2018 edition. Purely editorial and formatting changes are not included. So for more information about the reason for its changes, you have to visit the NFPA website. The first revision is named FR. Second revision, SR. And first correlating revision, FCR. Second correlation revision is SCR. So you'll notice there are series of committee meetings wherein this revision was approved. Okay? Either in its one of these. Okay? So these are located here. Look at the third column. You have what? FR, FCR, SR, SCR references. These are the detailed references how this revision came about. Who are the main actors that approve this revision? We can find out because they are very detailed and dependent on the revision meeting of the committee. Is it the first revision meeting? Is it the second revision meeting? And so on. Okay, so we have specific details of some of the selected changes out of several pages of listed summary. Okay, there are 17 pages of this. So we just selected those who are we found nearest to our expertise, nearest to our area of application, those related to us. So we just have to update with that. No? And we pick, for example, section number under chapter 1. So the listing actually in the technical changes for NFPA101 2018 is by chapter. It's good to know that it is listed by chapter. So chapter 1 is administration, and there are several of these changes like this 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 listed here. Like the one in paragraph 1.1.5. That paragraph is about hazardous materials emergencies. Okay? The scope expanded to include hazardous materials emergencies. So they expanded the scope. Okay? And the reference is the first revision 202007. So that is the reference. Another one is the paragraph 1.1.6 about injuries from fall. Scope expanded to include injuries from fall. So scope are being expanded in this 2018 edition compared to 2015 edition. So FR 3022 is our reference. Okay? So that is the committee code meeting. Okay? And then third one is paragraph 1.1.7, which talk about emergency communication. Scope again is expanded to include emergency communication. So reference FR 3034. And the fourth one, paragraph 1.1.9, parenthesis 4, areas not addressed. Areas not addressed item added to make clear that with withdrawal of NFPA 1126, the retail sale and associated storage of consumer fireworks are not addressed anywhere in the code. So because of that, so there are actually 4 areas that are not addressed in NFPA 101. So the fourth one is the retail sale and associated storage of consumer fireworks. Okay. So let us continue. Chapter 2, because chapter 2 is references, we go and jump to chapter 3, which is about definitions. Okay. So detailed definition. What are the possible technical change? Paragraph 3.3.19, animal housing facility. New definition added to support the term. Okay. For chapters 4 to 43. So, new definition. So, meaning there is a previous definition and they added a new one. Okay. Paragraph 3.3.56 under the same chapter 3, delayed action closure. What is delayed action closure? New definition added to support the terms used in chapter 7. There are purposes for these technical changes. Okay. So paragraph 3.3.74, emergency control functions. Definition, replacing fire safety function. Okay. Replace that to emergency control function. Okay. Added to support the terms used elsewhere in chapters 4 to 43. Okay. And paragraph 3.3.175, mall concourse. Similarly, the open mall concourse, enclosed mall concourse, new definition added to support change in terminology from use of mall building to mall structure. So instead of building, structure. Okay. So because not all the area of the mall is building, so structure is more general term, okay, than building. Okay. Okay. That structure can have a building portion and a structure portion. So it is called structure instead. Okay. So paragraph 3.3.177, point 2, point 2.1, point 2.2, point 3, point 7, and point 7.1. New definition to support new requirements dispersed throughout the code for protection from hazardous materials. Okay. Protection from hazardous materials. So hazardous material. Hazard material. What do we mean by hazard material? Okay, so we have several references. The same chapter and other definition paragraph, like the definition for ambulatory health care occupancy. Subpart number 3 of definition revised to change emergency or urgent care to treatment. Okay. So emergency or urgent care replaced by treatment. Okay. So another definition, power doors, okay, power operated doors, power assisted doors, power operated doors. New definition added to support new requirements for power doors. So power doors, okay. Reference FR 5028. Okay. Next is paragraph or definition of renovation. Definition is taken from chapter 43, reinserted after having been inadvertently dropped in the 2015. So, just inadvertently dropped. So, reinserted in the definition. So, okay. So, it's not very important, but important for legal purposes because it formalizes and brings about a common definition of the term. Okay, definition of self-preservation, capability, healthcare, and ambulatory healthcare occupancy. New definitions added, separate from existing definition to support use of term in healthcare occupancies as addressed in chapters 18 to 21. Okay. The next one is the definition of mall structure. Former definition of mall building revised to create new definition for correlation with changes made to mall provisions in chapters 36 and 37 on mercantile occupancies. So there's now, instead of mall building, mall structure. Again, these changes is highlighted. Another definition about underground structure. Definition revised to quantify the distance below lowest level of exit discharge, LED, lowest exit discharge, as being 30 feet or 9.1 meters. Okay. So the definition is quantified. No? Quantified. So below lowest level of, so that is an underground structure. If it is about 9.1 meters. Quantified. So previously it is not quantified. Now, look at chapter 24 about 1 and 2 family dwellings. We have several chapters and we just selected this chapter with the following technical changes. About doors. Depth of step-down platform changed from whichever is smaller to whichever is greater relative to 36 inches. Okay? So, a very big change. Whichever is smaller to whichever is greater. So, the change is opposite, the opposite direction. Huh? So, whichever is greater relative to 36 inches or 9.15 meters. Okay? The next one is about the concept of grab bars for bathtubs, bathtub shower combinations, and showers. New sections on grab bars for bathtubs, bathtub shower combination, and shower added to act as a menu that can be mandatorily referenced by other occupancy chapters. New text applicable to new dwellings. So we have the grab bars. Okay, they are usually used for bathtubs and the like. Okay? Another one is the provision for extinguishment requirements. What is extinguishment requirements? Let's take a look. Options expanded to permit sprinkler system to be in accordance with NFPA 13, NFPA 13R, or NFPA 13D. So, extinguishment requirements could be an sprinkler system. It is expanded to, that is in accordance with NFPA 13, 13R, and 13D. Note of this, previously it is not the case. So there is an option. Okay. And what about chapter 30? New apartment buildings. Topics under construction, alteration, demolitions. New requirements that construction, alteration, and demolition operation be compliant with NFPA 241 via reference to 4.6.10.2. So it is connected. This new requirement is connected to that NFPA 241 for new apartment buildings. That is about what? Construction, alteration, and demolition. Also, for apartment buildings, grab bars. Okay? And it is similar to the grab bars that we talk about in the 1 and 2 family dwellings. New requirement. Okay? That is a new requirement. And what about hazardous material? The same with previously talk about updated changes. And the next one is carbon monoxide detectors. This is a new one. New requirement that alarm signal from carbon monoxide detectors be transmitted to on-site or off-site premises location in accordance with NFPA 720. Okay? So they saw that it is now an important time to include this as a provision in the code. What is next? 30.3.5.2 through 30.3.5.2.1.2 about extinguishment. So height limitation of 60 feet or 18.3 meters added for use of NFPA 13R sprinkler system. Height limitation, okay, 18.3 meters. So that's very high, no? That's very high. That is about 6-story. That height is about 6-story building, 5 to 6-story building. Height limitation for use of NFPA 13, that is for extinguishment, sprinkler systems, new provision for sprinkling attic spaces. So it includes attic spaces, new provision related to fire department vehicle access. So there are many things that's going on in this topic of extinguishment. What is the next? About the paragraph on integrated fire protection systems. New equipments for integrated fire protection systems, testing in accordance with NFPA4 via reference to 9.11.4. Okay. Another important technical update. Integrated fire protection system. What about chapter 31 on existing apartment buildings? So we have the topic on construction, alteration, and demolition again, which is already discussed under the new apartment, but now it is now existing. So no requirement that construction, alteration, demolition operation be compliant with NFPA 241. Okay? So hazardous materials again, similarly for existing buildings, and extinguishment. Same height limitation of 18.3 meters added for use of NFPA 13R for sprinkler system. So they have addition or changes, and they proceed to what? To put those changes and updates on specific chapters. That is very good. No? It's very good. We know that's all about it. And thank you for bearing with us. Those are the summaries of selected updates and changes from NFPA 101 2015. So we are now using NFPA 2018. NFPA 101 2018. And given this opportunity, we would like to thank you for your subscription to our free tutorial channel. Please don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe. Post an ad for minimum sponsorship fee. We also would like to invite you to peso fund our advocacy of free tutorial channel. Your peso would help us. And just as small as peso is very important to us. We collect several peso. It's a good thing for our advocacy to continue our channel. We have the information for our GCash and contact details. Again, this is Dr. AP, preaching engineering for nation building.